So when you start to think about Bitcoin versus gold, would you ever consider, I know that you're not a fan of Bitcoin, we can get to why, but would you buy the Bitcoin mining stocks because there's cash flow?
No.
Why? Wait, why?
First of all,
it's cash flow. It's a
mining
business.
Stocks. First of all, let's look. They don't mine anything.
What are you talking about?
Mining equipment there. They solve math problems, but the problem is they use a lot of energy to solve those problems. But I wouldn't want to buy any of these things because when the price of Bitcoin crashes, these stocks are worthless because it's going to cost more to mine them than you could get for them. So no, I mean, what I would be doing if I was a company, I would be selling stock to any fool who's going to buy it from me. I'd be like selling new shares, doing secondaries, just trying to dump all it out there. But I don't have any shares.
What would it take for you to buy Bitcoin? What's the one thing in the economy or any sort of financial markets that you would finally say, all right, enough is enough. I won't tell Pomp that he was right, but I'm going to go put a little Bitcoin away. I'm going to put it under the mattress, not tell anybody about it.
Well, how much you talking about play money? Like I would buy a lottery ticket or something.
But have you done that yet? have you even speculated a little bit? Bought even just one just for fun? I mean, you're almost a billionaire.
I have bought a couple of lottery tickets in my life.
Well, did you buy Bitcoin as a lottery ticket yet?
No, I haven't bought any Bitcoin.
All right, so you haven't bought any. What would cause you to buy some?
People have given me some Bitcoin or fractions of a Bitcoin, but I lost them all, as you know.
Yeah.
Well,
you didn't lose. Just so we're clear, you didn't lose them.
Unfortunately, my son has actually bought some.
You didn't lose the Bitcoin. You lost the password, which is user error.
But I lost access to them. Right. Yeah. I know where they are. I know, but I just can't get at it.
Holding on to the Bitcoin is an intelligence test. If you lose the password, it can't help you, right? It's like losing the password to your brokerage account. Sorry.
I never had the password to lose. That was the problem.
All right. What would it take to get you to buy one Bitcoin? Just one Bitcoin where you actually took dollars and converted it into Bitcoin. What would be the thing in the market that you would finally say, all right, I got to do this?
Well, look, right now they're what, like 33,000, 34,000. I wouldn't want to waste $34,000 on a Bitcoin. So, I could buy a lot of other things with that money. I mean, I suppose if the price got cheap enough, maybe if it got back, I don't know, below $1, maybe I could buy one. I don't know. but the question is, would I want one? See, this is the thing. I mean, if you can say, I talked to a lot of these Bitcoin hodlers and they're like, oh, yeah, I would want to buy so many more. Really? If it really got down that low, wouldn't that be a signal? I mean, is there a point, for you? Bob, you're asking me when I would buy my Bitcoin. I mean, I don't really know because I'm not interested in it. But the real question is, what will it take to get you to sell?
If gold went to $500, would you buy more? If gold went to $500?
Well, sure.
Okay.
But here's the reason why, because gold is an actual commodity.
Is it?
And so, yes.
There's a lot of fake gold. I want to talk to you about fake gold. I saw on the internet that there's all kinds of fake gold in space.
Yeah, well, so fake gold doesn't do what real gold does. I don't know if so.
But how do you know?
Gold doesn't have the property.
How do you know you have real gold? Are you a chemist? Are you testing it?
Yeah, it's not, that's part of the lies that the Bitcoin pumpers tell is that it's hard to know real gold from fake gold.
Well, how do you tell?
They've been able to tell real gold from fake gold for thousands of years, and they didn't even have any technology. It's so much easier to tell the difference between real gold and fake gold now than we were on the gold standard. So this is all a bunch of nonsense. But to answer your question, see, since gold is an actual commodity, let's say I am a jewelry manufacturer. And I know I got demand to make jewelry,
which by the way is less than 10% of all demand, and demand for jewelry has been dropping. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know who you're dating, but anyway. So if the price of gold goes down to $500, and I'm a jeweler, I'm like, whoa, I can buy a bunch of gold that I need much cheaper to make these necklaces or these rings or these whatever, and so there's going to be more demand. Right. If I need gold in my computer chips and all of a sudden the price goes down, now I can buy more gold for the same money and put them in my chips and save money. I'm going to buy more. Right. There's a way to rationalize that. Like if I have a stock, I talked earlier about a stock. Let's say there's a stock that I love at $10 a share and it's got a 5% dividend yield at $10 a share. If the stock drops to $5, and now or it had a 5% dividend, and now it gets cut in half, and now the dividend is 10%. I get twice the dividend yield by buying it at half the price. Whatever value of the assets was there, all else being equal, I can buy those same assets for half price. When it comes to Bitcoin, I don't get any more when I buy Bitcoin at 10,000 than when I buy it at 30,000. Yeah, I get more Bitcoin, but I don't get any more dividends because it doesn't pay any dividends. I don't get any more rent like when I buy real estate on sale, and I can't make any more jewelry because I've got more Bitcoin, because you can't make anything with a Bitcoin. Doesn't matter how many you have. I can have all 21 million Bitcoins, and I can't do anything that I couldn't do with just one. Doesn't matter how many you have. But the more gold you have, the more electricity you can conduct, the more jewelry you can make, whatever, all that stuff you can do. And so there is no way to know that Bitcoin is cheap because there's nothing to measure it against. So my question to you is, you think Bitcoin is going to be the new money? It's going to, replace gold or replace other financial
assets? Well, it already
assets.
replaced gold. Just so we're clear, it already replaced gold for people under the age of 35. Nobody owns gold under the age of 35.
It hasn't replaced gold in the real world. It hasn't replaced gold in jewelry. It hasn't. The central banks still own gold as part of a monetary asset.
They were net sellers in Q4. Go ahead.
Yes. But you believe that all this stuff is going to happen to Bitcoin, and it all hinges on, more adoption. Just like we talked about Social Security being a Ponzi scheme, it's kind of the same dynamic.
You're talking about gold, right? Gold's price only goes up if more people want gold, right? Isn't that how it works?
But people want gold for all the properties that gold has.
But it's demand based. The only reason why any asset, the only reason why any asset goes up is because it's demand based. If more people don't want Apple stock, it goes down. If more people don't want gold, it goes down. If more people don't want Bitcoin, it goes down. That's how the markets work. It's called supply and demand. I'll send you an Economics 101 book.
If people want to buy Apple products and Apple's earning a profit and paying a dividend, well, people will want to buy the stock. Now, obviously in a different environment with higher interest rates, they may not be willing to pay as much for Apple stock as they're paying now, but there will be demand at some price for Apple stock. That's not the case with Bitcoin. I mean, at gold, even if you don't want to buy gold at 1,800, you might want to buy it at 1,000 because it may be a good deal for what you need it for. But Bitcoin is not a commodity, and it's not an investable asset. It doesn't have a use, and it doesn't throw off an income stream. So again, to get back to the question I'm asking you, you think that Bitcoin is going to continue to be adopted and more institutions are going to buy it, more people around the world are going to start using it? What if that doesn't happen, right? At some point, so let's say Bitcoin crashes to 20,000 or then 10,000 or then 5,000, right? Is there some point where you all right, I was wrong. It's not catching on. The momentum is turned. I'm just going to give up on this. I'm not going to go down with the ship to zero. Is there a point where you get out?
I mean, what if unicorns fall from the sky, right?
No.
Listen,
that's a crazy thing.
If it continues to fall,
going to 10,000 is not crazy. Bitcoin was at 10,000 a year ago. To say that Bitcoin can't go back to 10,000 again is ridiculous.
Well, you're proving my point. Hold on.
If it does,
Bitcoin
does it change your view?
So Bitcoin was 10,000 a year ago, and now it's at 35. And for Bitcoin to go from 35 to 10, about 70%, 75, whatever the number is, right?
Yeah, I'm saying.
That means that we would just return to prices not seen since last year. If gold fell 75%, it would be numbers from literally 30 years ago. No, it wouldn't change my mind. Here's why it wouldn't change my mind. Ready? Everything that you say about the economy, I think generally you and I agree, right? We agree that the Fed's lost their mind. They're manipulating markets. People are getting hurt. Nobody understands that they should be investing rather than saving. All the things that you say about the economy, we agree on. Mm-hmm. You and I both also agree that sound money is the solution, right? We can't have money that can just be printed at will because politicians or other folks decide that we're going to do that, or we're going to manipulate those markets. And so sound money is the solution. There's two options.
Bitcoin doesn't qualify as sound money.
Well, okay. Well, just so we're clear, sound money is the definition of sound money is that it's outside the system and no one can create more of it. And so gold and Bitcoin.
Well, first of all, Pomp, do you know the origin of the word sound money? Do you know where it comes from?
It's not a spelling bee, but go ahead, tell me.
Well, so if you take a gold coin and you drop it on a hard surface, it makes a sound, as opposed to when you drop a piece of paper on a surface, it doesn't make a sound. So hard money makes a sound when you drop it. What's the sound that Bitcoin makes when you drop it?
Peter,
do you hear anything?
This is like Blockbuster saying to Netflix, "Oh, you have no value because when we drop the VHS tape on the table, it makes a sound." That's ridiculous.
No, there's a difference. See, when I can watch a video, that still has value. Watching a video on television, on the
Let's do a race. All right, hold on. We're going to settle this
because we got going to Blockbuster.
We got to go in a minute. We got to go in a minute.
We're can't make anything with Bitcoin.
Here's my challenge to you.
No substance.
Here's my challenge to you. Ready? You want to see what has more value? You send me a gold bar. I'll send you a Bitcoin, and we'll see who gets there first.
No, that's irrelevant because I can. First of all, I don't have any Bitcoin to send you.
No, you send me the gold bar. The gold. You could put it in the mail. It'll take you 7 days to get it to me.
Yeah, but I would be sending you something real. The reason it's so cheap to send Bitcoin is because you're sending nothing. If I'm going to send nothing, yeah, I can send nothing real cheap. But come back to this question that I'm asking you, right? At where do you throw in the towel on Bitcoin and say, no, you're wrong, get rid of it? If it's not 10,000, what if it goes to 1,000? If Bitcoin is at 1,000, if we're doing an interview in the future and Bitcoin is 1,000, are you going to say, well, if you bought it when it was $1, you still have 1,000 times your money?
Peter,
so it's the best before me. Or are you going to admit you were wrong?
The difference is that Bitcoin is going to be the global reserve currency because nobody can create more of it. And it is already becoming the digital reserve currency of that digital economy. And the whole key to this is the reason why you're so worried about price is because gold will never be the global reserve currency ever again. It's over. We're not going back to a gold standard. But there is a much higher likelihood that we transition to a Bitcoin reserve status. And when that happens, the US dollar exchange value doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter because just one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Here's the problem with the gold thesis. Is that they printed trillions of dollars. Every asset in the planet, literally Beanie Babies went up in value and gold didn't go up in value in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So gold today is worth less than it was last year because it didn't even keep up with inflation. If I was holding gold, my gold didn't even keep up with inflation.
Yeah. That's because we have a bubble in everything. Gold is money, right? So you have a bubble. Stocks are overpriced. Real estate is overpriced. In terms of money, gold is not currency. Gold is actual money. Currency was backed by money. The first legitimate currency was a receipt for gold. Gold was the money that backed up the currency. That's what gave currency value, was that it was backed up by gold. Now, fiat currency is currency backed up by nothing. That's like what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is backed by nothing. It has no actual value. When you say that they're not, there's a limit to how many, there's almost 11,000 cryptocurrencies now. The supply is growing, like wildflower. There is no limit to the number of virtually identical cryptocurrencies that can be created, and they keep creating them. And you think there's a limit to 21 million Bitcoin. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. It doesn't even matter how many Bitcoins there are. It matters is how many other cryptocurrencies could people buy instead of Bitcoin, because there's nothing special about Bitcoin other than the name. And it's not even that special because you got Bitcoin Cash, you got Bitcoin Gold, you got whatever, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. What's the difference? There really is no difference when you basically, take a step back and look at what you got. The odds of Bitcoin becoming the reserve asset for the world are zero. It's never going to happen. That's a fantasy.
Peter, I love you. Yeah. I just want to remind you of one fact as your friend, because I feel like it's important that you remember this. If you had sold your gold and bought Bitcoin in the last 12 months or when you first heard about it, you would be a billionaire today.
Well, look, if I had put all of my net worth into Bitcoin when I first heard about it, not your whole net worth,
not your whole net worth, just you had replaced your gold allocation with Bitcoin allocation.
Yes, I would be a billionaire if I did that when I first heard about it.
Or in the last year. Or if you did it in the last year, you'd probably still be a billionaire.
But that applies to a lot of people, not just me. Probably applies to you. When you first heard about Bitcoin, if you put all your money in it, you'd probably be a billionaire too.
No, I'm not talking about all your money. I'm talking about just gold.